Cuba, it's me! Welcome to episode 109 of The Willow Show, which stands for Wrestling is Life, Life is Wrestling. Now today, I wanted to make my list of people in Ontario that have been involved in wrestling some way or another, either in the past or now, not the future, but either in the past or the present, and I wanted to make a list of people who are my dream interviews on The Willow Show. So the first person I wanted to interview is the guy that runs the Brantford promotion, MCW. Nicky Martin, true magnificent Nicky Martin. I've seen him on Facebook, and he was begging to be on this one show, podcast or whatnot. So, if he's that desperate, then maybe he would come on the Willow Show. I know I've spoken to him at a few shows here and there, and he seems like a nice guy. And if I do get him to come on the show, he has to do the weasel laugh, or I can't do it, whatever it is. But I want to talk about the success he's had in Brantford and where the future is going, and I think that it could be a really good episode. The second person I would like to see on the Willow Show to interview would be Crystal Banks. Now, she's been around for quite a long time. I know she took a little bit of time off, but I've seen her back recently. I bumped into her, spoke with her a couple times. She's always so nice to me, and just the history of starting out with some of the people like Ali and TNA and so many wrestlers. She's wrestled all the females in Ontario that have come through the ranks, and to see her back at it, I would love to have her on an interview on the show. I think that would be great, not television, great viewing for my viewers. And the next person I would like to interview is Sebastian Suave. I don't know if I said that right, but news just broke yesterday or the day before. I haven't had internet. I just got new internet, so but I know he is heavily involved with Smash, and they just signed on to be in the time slot after. Is it Global Force now? TNA? What? He signed on to be on the Fight Network. So I don't know if he did it or he's got a bunch of partners, but I know he's heavily involved, and he's also a wrestler himself. And I enjoy the fact that he's really into like Raptors and Blue Jays like me. I think he'd be a great interview. Number 4 would be Geza Coleman Jr. Now, he hasn't been in action recently, but his past in wrestling is incredible. The stories this guy can tell, and just the life he's lived and the things he's done are to be envious of. And I came this close to getting him on the Willow Show. He said he might have time. He didn't know if he could stick around, but if he could, he would do it. And unfortunately, the show and the matches all went too long, and I wasn't able to get it done with him. But he said he would, so maybe he would say that again, is what I'm hoping. The next person on the list is somebody that has actually viewed the show a couple times, I know, the 21st Century Fox. Now, she was a female competitor in Ontario between the years of about 2001 and 2012, I'd like to say, maybe 13. I don't know exactly when she hung up the boots, but man, she would have some great stories to tell. And plus, I'm close personal friends with her, and I haven't seen her in ages, so it'd be great. Like, maybe I should start doing Skype interviews. I wonder how that would work. Huh. I wonder if I could record Skype. Can I? Huh. I don't know. I'll look into that. I know they did that on like the X-Pac one and whatnot. So Fox, if you're watching, maybe we should just do a Skype one. Wouldn't that be great? Okay, the next person I want to, also I came very close to having them on the show, Tomer Shalom. He was in that Hagersville event with me, and he actually said, hey, what, you don't want me on the show? But the thing was, my battery had run down. I didn't get to charge it. I was at work all day, then I went right to the show. I did a couple interviews, and he was one of the last matches, so I was trying to get the guys that had already wrestled. And I would love to have him on the show. He's actually the one when I went down there that I wanted on the show the most, and then it just didn't work out that way, and I was pretty bummed out about it. But he's such a funny guy. Everyone says he's the funniest. I agree, he's up there. He's one of the funniest guys. And plus, he would have a great story to tell. So he would be someone I would love to interview on the show. Hopefully Hagersville happens again. The next person I would like to interview would be Quan Chang. He's been around for so long. He's wrestled for so many different promotions. He's been on so many tours. The story this guy would have to tell is just incredible. And he understands wrestling. He is so unselfish. He wants to put on the best show for the crowd. He doesn't want to just get his stuff in. So I just feel me and him could really chop it up and have a tremendous interview. I would love to have him on the show. I might have to go check out one of those Hamilton shows that he's been on recently. The eighth person that I would love to have on the show would be Sandy Davis. When I first started training in 2000, the person that started at like she started a little bit before me was Sandy Davis, and so we were always paired together because we were at the same like experience level and whatnot. And my second match ever in wrestling was against her. Plus, she married one of the Highlanders. Plus, she just was around the business so long. She has so many funny stories as well. And plus, I really miss her. She's a dear friend of mine, and I would love to get her out here and convince her somehow, some way to do this show. My number 9 would be Cameron Morley. One, this guy's the nicest guy, and plus he's been involved in wrestling for such a long time too. And like when he comes to shows, he always brings carrots and strawberries for everybody. And but imagine being the brother of Val Venus. I mean, that's got to be some stories himself. Just his stories alone would be amazing. Plus, hearing about what it's like to be the brother of Val Venus. And then my last person would be Ron Hutchinson. He's trained so many legends. He's still relevant today. He's still involved. He still keeps his nose in the business, so to speak. And basically, this guy should write a book. But if I just even had 5 minutes with him, imagine what I could get out of him. So those are my 10 dream guests on the W.I.L.L.I.W show. I mean, there's hundreds. At every show, I want to interview every single wrestler I can. And wrestlers I have interviewed, I want to wrestle again. I wish this show, honestly, if I had the time and the means of transportation and I didn't have a cameraman all the time and I didn't have to work, like if I was rich or something, I would just interview wrestlers. That would be my calling. I love interviewing wrestlers, but we don't always have time for that, and I still like to do the W.I.L.L.I.W show. But remember, like, or you get a leg drop, comment, or you get a clothesline, subscribe, or you get a suplex. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and please tell me, who would you wish for me to interview on the W.I.L.L.I.W show? I love wrestling, Cuba!